Meeting for today, Monday, July 14th. I detect a quorum with myself present. Councilmember Allen present, Benedict present. Councilmember Gadd is present. Councilmember Horton. He left. And Coopin left. Okay. And Coopin is still here. Councilmember Parker present, Vice Chair Rutherford present, and I believe Councilmember Horton and Coopin are present. We'll wait to confirm. But with that, we have 8 members present, and we will get started. There is no one signed up for public comment, so without objection, we will move forward with the agenda, starting with the consent agenda, and I'll read the numbers rather for the consent agenda before reading the captions, and you can let me know if anything needs to be pulled off. Consent agenda includes number 1 on the agenda, RS 2025-1356, 1370, bills on second reading, Bill 2025-910, 911, 913, 914, 915, 916, 917, 918, 919, 920, 921, 922, 923, 924. Bills on third reading consent, Bill 2025-753, 753, 829, 864, 865, 866, 867, 869, 870, 871, 872, 873, 874, 875, 876, 878, 879, 880, 881, 884, 885, 886, 887, 889, 890, 891, 892, 893, 894, and 895. Do either of those items need to be pulled off the consent agenda? All right. Without any discussion, may I have a motion for the consent agenda? Oh, thank you. I do have to read the captions. Thank you, Councilmember Allen. Starting with a resolution RS 2025-1356, Coopin Porterfield Gamble, a resolution to approve the 11th Amendment to a lease agreement between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County and the Square Investment Holdings LLC for office space in Washington Square Building located at 222 2nd Avenue North. Bills RS 2025-1370, Johnston Porterfield Gamble Parker, resolution authorizing the Director of Public Property or his designee to exercise an option agreement for the purchase of a flood-prone property located at 4800 Blackman Court for Metro Water Services. Bills on second reading, Bill 2025-910, Porterfield Hill Ewing, an ordinance approving a revocable license agreement between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Metropolitan Department of Human Resources and Operation Stand Down Tennessee for use of office space. Bill 2025-911, Porterfield Gamble, an ordinance approving a lease agreement between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by and through the Mayor's Office of Emergency Management and Department of General Services and Community Resource Center for use of a warehouse at 801 Anderson Lane, Madison, Tennessee. Bill 2025-913, Parker Gamble, an ordinance authorizing Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to acquire permanent and temporary easements through negotiation, condemnation, and acceptance for the Prince Avenue Stormwater Improvement Project for 9 properties located on Prince Avenue and Trinity Lane. Bill 2025-914, Bradford Gamble Parker, an ordinance authorizing Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to abandon existing public utility easement rights for the specific area of property located at 1431 Balti Boulevard. Bill 2025-915, Cash Gamble Parker, an ordinance authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to abandon existing public stormwater easement rights for property located at 3001 Belmont Boulevard, also known as Christ the King Catholic Church. Bill 2025-916, Benton Gamble Park and Ellis, an ordinance authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to abandon existing stormwater line and drainage easements and to accept new stormwater line and drainage easements for property located at 2491 Murfreesboro Pike, also known as MMPD Southeast Precinct. Bill 2025-917, Horton Gamble Park, an ordinance authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to abandon existing public water main and fire hydrant assemblies and easements and to accept new fire hydrant assemblies and easements for property located at 4500 Harding Pike, also known as Bellmead Plaza. Bill 2025-918, Evans Gamble Park, an ordinance authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to accept new public water and sanitary sewer main, fire hydrant assemblies, sanitary sewer manholes, and easements for property located at 4021 Mills Road and at 4 properties off-site of the project location on Old Hickory Boulevard, Sells Drive, and Central Pike, also known as Avid Hotel Revision 1. Bill 2025-919, Horton Gamble Park, an ordinance authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to accept new public water and sanitary sewer main, fire hydrant assemblies, sanitary sewer manholes, relocation of fire hydrant assembly, replacement of sanitary sewer manhole, and associated easements for property located at 813 Watts Lane, also known as 813-1230 Watts SP Phase 1. Bill 2025-920, Gamble Park, an ordinance authorizing Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to accept new public water and sanitary sewer main, fire hydrant assembly, sanitary sewer manhole, and easements for property located at 6532 Edenburg Drive in Williamson County. Bill 2025-921, Kimbrough Gamble Park, an ordinance authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to abandon existing public sanitary sewer main and easements and to accept new public sanitary sewer main, sanitary sewer manholes, and easements for property located at 3606 Fairview Drive, also known as Fairview Meadows. Bill 2025-922, Parker Gamble, an ordinance authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to accept new public sanitary sewer main, sanitary sewer manhole, and easements for property located at 799 C Fairwind Avenue. Bill 2025-923, Harold Gamble Parker, an ordinance authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to accept new public water and sanitary sewer mains, fire hydrant assemblies, sanitary sewer manholes, and easements for 2 properties located at 4057 Maxwell Road and Maxwell Road Unnumbered, also known as Martin's Glen. Bill 2025-924, Bradford Gamble Parker, an ordinance authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County to accept new public water main, fire hydrant assembly, and associated easements for 3 properties located at 1 Terminal Drive, Murfreesboro Pike Unnumbered, and 701 Donaldson Pike, also known as BNA TARI 3.1. Bills on third reading consent, and we are pulling the associated bill BL 2025-753 to go along with the companion 752. We are pulling 18 off of consent. On consent, number 19, Bill 2025-829, Taylor, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from RS5 to R6A zoning for property located at 2806 Georgia Avenue, approximately 134 feet south of Torbit Street. BL 2025-864, Welch Vo, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Law, zoning ordinance Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by amending a specific plan for property located at 69 Thompson Lane and at the southeast corner of Mashburn Road and Thompson Lane, Zone SP, to permit personal care services, general office, and residential uses. BL 2025-865, Welch and Vo, companion bill, an ordinance to authorize building material restrictions and requirements for BL 2025-864. BL 2025-866, Kimbrough, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from RM6NS to RS15 to RM15ANS zoning for properties located at 3821 Ashland City Highway, 3825 Ashland City Highway, and 3825 number 1 through 6 Ashland City Highway, approximately 225 feet southeast of Abernathy Road. Bill 2025-867, Toombs, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws and zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from CLNS to CL zoning for various properties located on Skyline Terrace, Urban Way, Panorama Bend, approximately 200 feet south of Dennis Drive. Bill 2020. We're pulling also 25 to go with its companion bill, BL 2025-868. So number 25 is pulled off of consent. Number 26, BL 2025-870, Parker, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from RS5 to RM 20A and S zoning for property located at 1605 Meridian Street at the southeast corner of Meridian Street and Edith Avenue, 3.34 acres located within the detached accessory dwelling unit overlay district. Bill 2025-871, Toombs, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws and zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from RS5 to R6A zoning for properties located at 1305 and 1307 Betsy Avenue, approximately 135 feet west of Brick Church Pike. Bill 2025-872, Benton, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government in Nashville and Davidson County by changing from AR2A to SP zoning for a portion of property located at 3187 Franklin Limestone Road, approximately 1,170 feet southeast of Mullen Circle, 23.48 acres to permit industrial uses. Bill 2025-873, Benton, companion bill, an ordinance to authorize building material restrictions and requirements for BL 2025-872. Bill 2025-874, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from RS10 to SP zoning for property located at Kings Lane, unnumbered, approximately 122 feet east of Haynes Park Drive to permit 48 multifamily residential units. BL 2025-875, Kimbrough, an ordinance to authorize building material restrictions and requirements for BL 2025-874. BL 2025-876, VO, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from R6 to MUNANS zoning for property located at 1253A 3rd Avenue South, approximately 42 feet north of Hart Street. BL 2025, and we'll take off 780, the companion bill. Bill 2025-875, Rutherford, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by amending a portion of a specific plan for property located at Bell Road unnumbered and to add properties located at 1456 Bell Road and a portion of property located at Bell Road unnumbered to amend the SP at the eastern and western corners of Bell Road and Harris Hills Lane Zone, agricultural, residential, and specific plan. Bill 2025-880, Rutherford, the ordinance to authorize building material restrictions and requirements for Bill 2025-879. Bill 2025-881, Welch and Bowe, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Law, zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from RS 7.5 to R6A zoning for property located at 3407 Keystone Avenue, approximately 125 feet north of Raymond Street. Bill 2025-884, Evans, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from RS 15 to SP zoning for a portion of property located at 1501 Stewart's Ferry Pike, approximately 310 feet west of South New Hope Road, 17 acres, to permit 24 two-family lots and 2 single-family residential lots for a total of 50 residential units. Bill 2025-885, companion bill, an ordinance to authorize building material restrictions and requirements for BL 2025-884. Bill 2025-886, Cortez, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws and zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from RR40 to SP zoning for property located at 5642 Valley View Road, approximately 425 feet west of Cloverland Drive, 1.45 acres to permit 4 detached multifamily residential units. Bill 2025-887, Cortez, companion bill, an ordinance to authorize building material restrictions and requirements for BL 2025-886. And BL 2025-890, we're going to take 889 off of consent. 890 by Benton, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from RA2A to RS 7.5 zoning for a portion of property located at 4544 Highland Ridge Drive, approximately 675 feet northeast of Rural Hill Road. BL 2025-891, Horton, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from CS to SP zoning for property located at 5701 Centennial Boulevard at the northern corner of Ohio Avenue and 60th Avenue North, 1.04 acres to permit a mixed-use development. BL 2025-892, Horton, companion bill, an ordinance to authorize building material restrictions and requirements for BL 2025-891. Bill 2025-893, Nash, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from CL to MULANS zoning for a portion of property located at 412 Brewer Drive at the eastern corner of Nolensville Pike and Brewer Drive, 0.41 acres, and located within the corridor design overlay. Bill 2025-894, Bo, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Law, zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from OR 20 to MUGANS zoning for property located at 1429 12th Avenue South, approximately 400 feet north of Wade Avenue. And Bill 2025-895, Taylor, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from RS5 to R6A zoning for property located at 2908 Delaware Avenue at the northern corner of 30th Avenue North and Delaware Avenue, 0.95 acres. May I have a motion for the consent agenda? Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Without further discussion, all those in favor of the consent agenda, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Councilmember Gadd. Councilmember Gadd, you're recognized. Oh, you abstain? Okay, thank you. From the consent. So, okay, so an abstention negates the consent. So that means that all of these items then are not on consent. Okay. Councilmember Allen.
Could
point
we
of
ask
inquiry.
Councilmember Gadd if she would like to pull a specific bill and abstain on it?
Thank you. Councilmember Gadd, you're recognized.
Switch my vote to a yes vote. So, but thanks I've been here for a little while. So that was the first time I learned that an abstention now isn't a vote that we could do on consent. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your vote in favor. All right, so we will move on with the agenda, with the consent agenda being approved. And it looks like 7. I didn't see. Okay, we 8 in favor, consent agenda passes, 8 in favor, 0 against, 0 abstentions. Now going back on our agenda to number 17 on the agenda. Bills on third reading, Bill 2025-752 by Councilmember Lee, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from AR2A to SP zoning for properties located at 5788 Cane Ridge Road and Cane Ridge Road unnumbered, approximately 285 feet southeast of Cane Ridge Road, 39.27 acres to permit 58 single-family lots and 74 townhome multifamily dwellings. May I have a motion? And a second? Thank you. Moved and properly seconded. I will sign on. There's an amendment on this bill, and Councilmember Lee has sent a letter for approval, but I will sign on so that we might discuss the amendment, and I would ask that the planning table give us an explanation of the amendment.
Hi, Matt Wilkinson, Council Office. The amendment just adds the conditions of the Planning Commission approval.
Can you say what they are?
Whoops.
Let's see, the conditions, there's a few conditions. The first one is on the corrected set, update the landscape standards. Note 6, to require a 20-foot wide C3 landscape buffer. I'll sort of paraphrase these. And on the corrected set, add the case number. Number 3, on the corrected set of plans, replace note number 1 on page 12 with the use condition above. On the corrected set, remove page 10 with the illustrative plan. And number 5, on the corrected set of plans, update the side yard setback for corner lots based on the setback diagram on C1.01. Number 6, on the corrected set, modify the right-of-way dedication area beyond the northernmost cul-de-sac and emergency access to right-of-way reservation, and staff shall evaluate further with review of the final SP. And there's 13 total conditions. So
Okay.
if you want me to go through all of them, I will.
I think that's sufficient,
Okay.
but just
All right.
wanted the public and anyone else watching today to understand what the conditions are and appreciate that
Okay.
explanation. Any other discussion regarding BL 2025, the amendment for BL 2025-752? All right, with no further discussion. All those in favor of the amendment, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Amendment passes. Now we're on the bill as amended. May I have a motion? Motion on the bill as amended. In a second, I'm approved, and seconded. All those in favor of the bill as amended, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. And we should have taken the companion bill with that, but since we didn't, we will go back and do BL 2025-753, the companion bill and ordinance to authorize building material restrictions and requirements for BL 2025-752. May I have a motion? Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Moving on to number 24 on your agenda, BL 2025-868 by Councilmember Evans, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by changing from RS 15 to SP zoning for properties located at 4222 and 4226 and 4278 Central Pike, 27 acres, approximately 765 feet east of South New Hope Road to permit 314 multifamily residential units. May I have a motion? Moved and properly seconded. There's also amendment on this bill as well, and we do have a letter. I think we do. For this one. Okay. We do have a letter of support, and I do have also a note on that amendment. The developer shall install a traffic signal at the intersection of Central Pike and North New Hope Road project access prior to the issuance of use and occupancy permits for Phase 1 of the development, and final design plans shall be coordinated with and approved by NDOT prior to the building permit approval for Phase 1. That is what the amendment entails. Is there any discussion on the amendment? Without further discussion, all those in favor of the amendment, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Now we're on the bill as amended, and we have Councilmember Allen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to make a general comment. This is one of three bills, 868, 877, and 888, that all add a significant number of children and students and have schools that are either over capacity or at capacity. And I just asked the question again, what is our plan for trying to have these developments help provide what is needed to make the schools either have capacity or, I mean, we used to require that additional land was donated, but that turned out to be silly because we just had all these funny little pieces of land that we couldn't use. But instead, we do nothing, which just doesn't seem very forward-looking. So if any thoughts from the planning table on, as we look at housing and infrastructure study and things like this seems like another important piece of infrastructure that we haven't necessarily considered. So any thoughts on what we can be doing to just not paint ourselves into a corner repeatedly?
Thank you, Councilmember Allen, for that question and planning table.
Yes, that might be one that requires maybe a separate meeting to talk through. I'm not sure I'm prepared today to get into all of the ins and outs of that, but I mean, I know there are different factors that go into looking at the districts that schools are zoned for and how those are distributed by the school board. I don't know that there's always a exact answer that's the same for every project. So I think it's probably something, if we want to sit down and have a little more detailed conversation, that we should do it that way, because a lot of it goes into how the school board districts different schools and how those might be able to be adjusted over time to accommodate more students.
Fair enough. I'll set that up. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to keep raising awareness. This is important.
Thank you for that. Any other questions or comments regarding BL 2025-868? Councilmember Benedict.
Thank you, Chair. And I thank you, colleague, for that last question about schools. I think one thing, I know Mr. Claxton at one point had mentioned that they were looking at school capacity as we look at additional housing. And I know on SPs, we see how many additional students will go to elementary, middle, and high school are projected per development. But I think it absolutely is something that, boomers were the largest generation, and we expanded our schools. Then Gen X, we got a little smaller. There's not many of us, Chair, right? And then, but now with millennials and Gen Z, there's more youth than ever before, and it's a generation that's bigger than what the boomers were. So we're going to continue to add that capacity as long as people are continuing to have babies in the city, we're going to continue to grow. So as we do the housing, I think it's certainly that intersectionality is important. I think, on the relative to our schools, I think the school board is what I'm trying to get at, is looking at this. And I know that the school board does work, what Mr. Claxton had referenced one time in regards to where there is growth, that school board members are engaged. So just feedback to the point that was brought up that I thought might be relevant. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Councilmember Ellis, you recognize.
Thank you for recognizing me, even though I'm not on the chair. I'm glad I was sitting here. So I just wanted to offer up to Councilmember Allen, if you get that meeting set up, please loop me in. One of the concerns that we have is an elementary school that's adjacent to my district, Smith Springs Elementary. It's an open school, meaning that anyone can enroll as opposed to just those in the district. So I'd be interested to see in the assessments that are being done how that is factored in, because that's currently causing Smith Springs Elementary to be at capacity, given that we're the last school to come online to retain the fifth graders. So loop me in, Councilmember Allen, if you can.
Thank you, Councilmember Ellis. Any other comments or questions? All right, without further discussion, we're on the bill as amended. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. All right, moving on to number 33 on your agenda, BL 2025-877, and the companion bill, BL 2025-878. By Councilmember Stiles, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by amending a portion of Ridgeview UDO for property located at Eagle View Boulevard, unnumbered, at the northeast corner of Eagle View Boulevard and Baby Ruth Lane, Zone MUL and RM9, 14.57 acres to permit 376 multifamily residential units, and BL 2025-878 companion bill, an ordinance to authorize building material restrictions and requirements for BL 2025-877. May I have a motion? Moved and properly seconded. There is an amendment on this bill as well. Thank you. Amendment has been moved by Councilmember Benedict and seconded by Councilmember Allen. We're on discussion on the amendment, and I have it here in front of me, but if you would like to, Mr. Wilkerson, tell us about the amendment.
There's 11 Planning Commission conditions that are being added to the bill. I won't go through all of them, but one of the more significant ones is that the final site plan needs to provide architectural elevation complying with the architectural standards of the conceptual plan that was outlined on the preliminary SP. But there are 11 conditions of approval.
Thank you, Mr. Lehman. Any other questions or discussion about the amendment? All those in favor of the amendment, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Now we're on the bill as amended, moved and properly seconded. All those in favor of the bill as amended, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. And that is for Bill 2025-877 and 878. Moving on to number 42 on your agenda. Bill 2025-888 and its companion, Bill 25-889 by Councilmember Webb, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of Metropolitan Code of Laws, the zoning ordinance of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, by changing from R10 to SP zoning for properties located at 127, 131, 135 Liberty Lane and Liberty Lane unnumbered, approximately 800 feet east of Conference Drive, 4.293 acres to permit 240 multifamily residential units, all of which is described herein. And the companion bill, Bill 2025-889, an ordinance to authorize building material restrictions and requirements for Bill 2025-888. May I have a motion? Moved and properly seconded. We have an amendment. Amendment has been moved. And may I have a second? Thank you. Moved and properly seconded, and Councilmember Webb is here if you would like to speak about your amendment.
Thank you, Chair. It's just a simple amendment. We met with the community and they wanted more parking spots. They went from 3.2 or 1.2 to 1.3. And then they're going to go ahead and add in some traffic calming up to a certain dollar amount to coincide with what the neighborhood wants.
Thank you. Any further discussion about the amendment? Without further discussion, all those in favor of the amendment, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Councilmember, okay. All right, we're on the bill as amended. May I have a motion? Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on the bill as amended? Without further discussion, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? And that is for BL 2025-888 and 889. Councilmember Benedict, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. I think we might be done with the committee, and I just wanted to applaud you on getting us through an agenda that is 8 pages less than the agenda tomorrow. So thank you very much for your efficient work.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Councilmember Benedict. All right, without further ado, we are adjourned. Thank you.